If you have a child that currently plays football or would like to, then you'll want to listen up. We know concussions have become a critical issue in the sport, with so many athletes openly speaking out about how they've been affected. It can be prevented with proper training and adequate resources. This morning we have Kefren Savannah, who's with the Valley Athletic Trainers Association. He's here to kind of talk to us about concussions, and we're also going to be doing a demonstration with two students from the San Benito Greyhound football team. They know best, and of course you're their trainer, so you kind of work with them all the time.
True, and one of the things that we look for in football games, and as an athletic trainer, what we kind of have to do is we're scanning the game throughout the game for any kind of hits that we see that may be susceptible for a concussion. So if we see hits from Julian here, and he runs through his tackle, okay, he gets his eyes across the shoulder and he runs through the hip and makes the tackle, we're not worried about his head being in the way. Now, if we see Julian make the same hit, but he lead it with his head, we're now concerned not only for Julian but also for the running back. And if we see these signs, okay, so say Julian makes the hit, everybody's excited, he comes off to the sideline. Next thing you know, we notice Julian's kind of dazed, confused, dizzy. He doesn't remember the plays. He doesn't remember where he is. He doesn't remember his own name, things like that. These are all signs and symptoms of a concussion. The other thing is, these players, and fortunately for us, these two right now are brothers, but the players on the team act like brothers, and they can tell when somebody's acting weird. They can tell when somebody's not acting the same, and they can notice, hey, something's going wrong. We need this person checked out.
And one thing about concussions is that they don't always manifest themselves immediately. So is there something that parents need to be looking out for at home?
Correct. And if you see your child or your athlete is becoming more sleepier than usual, they're not acting the same. Their sense of humor is lower. They're acting down. They're kind of sluggish, a little bit more than usual. They seem like little by little, they can't concentrate, things like that. These are all things that they need to pay attention to. If a headache gets worse throughout the night, things that parents could pay attention to in order for them to be able to go up to their trainer or to a doctor and say, I think there's something wrong. My athlete received a strong blow to the head. Can you check them out? There
are repercussions that obviously can come from having a concussion. I want you, last hour we were talking about how the plays are sort of choreographed, so the players actually know what to look out for, how to look for these particular types of hits that may not be best or that may be susceptible to concussions. So can your players go ahead and show us, how this works?
Okay, sure. So Julian here, he's going to act as my tackler, okay? And say Gabriel is a running back. He's running forward. Julian wants to make the biggest hit he can. So Julian puts his head down. Now, as he puts his head down, Gabriel, as a running back, sees this. He knows that Julian no longer has eyes on his target. So Gabriel can either spin away or he can just juke. Either way, Julian's got his head down. He can't make the tackle because he no longer sees his target. Yes, he might have his arms wide open, but a lot of running backs are able to run through and make that run through arm tackles. What we'll look for is, once Julian comes back, though, is if he does have that dazed, confused look, we're really going to be concerned. If he has that massive headache, he can't pay attention, sensitivity to light, things like that, sensitivity to sound, we're then really concerned about everything.
As a trainer, you work closely with the coaches, and so you guys have probably a pretty strong program in place to really train the athletes properly, right? So what should parents look out for in terms of a coach, in terms of a trainer, to get the best out of the training?
Okay. As an athletic trainer, what we want to make sure that parents see is that we actually care. And most coaches, most athletic trainers really do care for the athletes. And what you want to make sure of as a parent watching, make sure that your child is making sure that they're tackling with their face up. Make sure that their eyes are getting to the target and they're seeing what they're hitting as opposed to running around with their head down. And again, make sure that the athletic trainers are in any concerns that you have as a parent, talk to your athletic trainers. We are in the loop. We want to make sure your athletes are healthy. We want to make sure that they play safely. Please, if you ever have any concerns, whether it's a concussion, any kind of ankle sprain, anything like that, please talk to us. We're always an open book. We'll feel free to answer any questions you have or any concerns you may have.
Thank you, Kefren, for being here, and also Gabriel and Julian, thank you so much for being here.